Hey everybody, it's Kelly. I am back with December Daily Day 24. So I'm going to do this one live. I'm back from my vacation and for just a couple of days, and I wanted to get going on December Daily, and I know it's been a couple of days since you guys have seen the process, so thought I'd start out with here's day number 23. Okay, so you've seen this one. Hard to tell, actually, it matches the mat here. So this is day number 23. Now, I have 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. So I have 5 days of photos that I have taken and printed, and I now need to organize and figure out what I'm going to do. So let me show you how I do that. As I was working through my photos, I pulled together, as I worked through them, I thought about how they would work in page protectors. And so this is how I handle this. So this is day number 24. I have a photo of myself at the airport, and then a photo of, I did some sparkly nails, which you can actually see. I still have them on. And so those are those two cards. Pieces. So I knew I had 2 3x4 pieces. So I chose something. I didn't have 4. And the next day, I guess I could have done a 4 up and done this a little bit differently, but I don't think it would have worked as well with the flow. So that's that. Now, also, we are scrapbookers and collectors of ephemera, right? So I have my 2 boarding passes. Even though I do this on the phone, I always have a backup because I've had my phone not work well, or the app not work well, as I've been trying to use it, I guess, while I was in the airport. And then I have my bag tags, and this is significant because I took a bunch of stuff from Mom. So I actually had 2 checked bags, which I don't normally. So that actually, it could go here, but instead I decided what I wanted to do is do a bag again in here. And I have this one, which just says Merry Christmas and is in sort of some craft colors. And then I have this one from this year's Redefine Creative. And I don't remember if this is this year or last year from the Advent Calendar. But I also have this one, which is from the Redefine Creative Advent Calendar for this year. And I'm leaning towards this one. And the reason is this is gray, this is craft. I think this would be better. I did think Merry Christmas would be cute because I was flying to see my mom, but I really think this is the one I'm going to use. I could actually also use this heart one now that I think about it too. But just because this is so cute, the most wonderful time of the year, I think it would be fun to do that. And my intention here is just to drop in my my ticket stubs and all of that right there. So that's what I'm thinking. That's how we're going to handle this. I do have this little spot here that I don't love because it's where the bag was folded over and sealed. So I could cut that off, but I like this. So I'm going to save that and figure out how to address that. Maybe I'll put my number on there. We'll see. So there's that. Then day 25. So day 25 for me, a lot of stuff happened. And I have the back of that 2 3x4s, 1 4x6. So I printed those. And then I have also, besides these 3x4s, I have 4 more. And I couldn't just do 4 more in one of these pockets because I would have had to eliminate one of the photographs I wanted to use. So I'm ending up having a bunch of extras. And I just saw something. If this fits, and it does. So this is from our Redefine Creative calendar this year, from our Redefine Creative Advent Calendar, yeah. And I could put this on here. My other thing too, though, now that I think about it, is I have my 25 number here, and I could do this, somewhere here, but I'm not sure. I may save this for bigger stories. I may use this. We'll see. I'm going to leave this out there. But I also have this 25 that I'm going to want to use, I think. And I could do the December 25 on a card right here. That's kind of what I originally thought when I saw this. And then I have this 'Twas the Night Before Christmas too. And I figured that could go here somewhere. This card, by the way, says the hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So that goes with this as well. Plus, I'm on my way to see my mom. So, hey, Harmony, just going through what I'm doing for December daily. So then here's the end of that. And I had this 25 card. I think it was from this year. If it wasn't, it was last year. So I might as well use it today, right? So we're going to do that. Then this flips to the 26th. And we did a lot on that day. So I have an activity with my mom that we did for lunch. Then I have the picture of this truck. I didn't actually see this at night, but my friend had photographed it at night. I went to visit some friends who are former clients of mine. So that's in there. And then another picture from this garden, but my mom also gave me this Grandma Claus mug, which is really, really cute. And then I have a picture of a light thing that we did at night. I'm going to do a bigger story on this one for sure, and also this garden, but I want it represented because that was a big part of the day. And then I have this kind of numbered card because I have 3 different activities here. I'll, talk about different things. Well, yeah, 2, 3, 4, and if I talk about this 5, I've got 5 things right there to talk about. So that's going to be December 26th. Then the 27th, the Packers played yesterday, and so we went over to a friend's for lunch. We all had our Packer gear on, and then she came over and had dinner with us while we watched the Packer game. And then my sister had been at my mom's in November and left matching PJs for my mom and I, and then she has a pair too. So we took a picture to send to her for that, okay? And then this is just a fun card with lots of different colors because I've got a lot of stuff going on in here. So I thought I'd do that. These are not full 4x6s, so I'm gonna have to put something in the back here as well. And then last but not least, here's today. So here's me in my mask again with my tape. So I do that to keep my glasses from fogging. And this is when I arrived in Denver. So I flew from Tucson, where I left really early in the morning. So it was in the 50s because it's desert and it's winter. But Denver, it was actually snowing. It's hard to see this, but it actually was. And then here's my boarding pass again. So I could journal with, I'm thinking journal with something across here and just add the boarding pass and this onto this piece of paper, kind of staple it in or something like that. Not quite sure how that's going to look. That's for another day. So my intention tonight is to do December 24th with you guys now. And if it's not too late, I'll work on the 25th. But what I'm going to do is I'll start a new live to do that, just so that you know that. And I'll figure that out before I'm done. How we're going to do that. Just because the 25th is so large, I think it would be nice to do it live. If I don't do it live tonight because I decide it's too much, I'll do it tomorrow night live after I come home from work, which would be late, just so you guys know. So the videos definitely for the foreseeable future are not going to be on the normal 5 a.m. Central posting time that it was. I just have too much catch up to do, and have to kind of deal with that a little bit. So Harmony just asked a question about how I was flying during the pandemic. So on Christmas Eve when I flew, it wasn't that big of a deal. Both of my flights did have third seat taken in both of the planes, but those were largely filled by families, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. I learned, by the way, if you're flying, I flew Southwest, so with Southwest, it's a first come first serve. I was fairly early in the boarding order on all 4 of my flights that I took, and I sat neck in the beginning, like in the front of the plane. So here's a strategy for that, you guys, is if you're flying Southwest in particular, as people walk back, they start filling the third seat in rows towards the back of the plane. So if you're sitting way in the front, plus then I got out really fast. So I think I sat in the 3rd row today. On the way out, I sat in, I think, the 4th and the 5th row. So that's a little bit of flying. Definitely, on Christmas Eve, the airport was not crowded. I would have said it was like a light day in a normal time. Today, the airports were definitely a lot busier. I think because I'm flying back the Monday after Christmas, and if people took an extra day. The Denver airport was pretty crowded. It was actually hard to social distance in the waiting area that we were in. So most people are only about 3 feet away. I did have a face shield that I used when I flew out as people walk by me, because I prefer I prefer an outside seat. So that it freaked me out a little bit. I actually let go of that today. I felt a little bit better about and a little bit more comfortable, although today was more crowded, so that's kind of crazy. So that's there. Let me talk about a couple other things pending here. My calendar needs to be filled out yet, and we'll figure out what to do with that at the end. And then I have this other film strip piece from Redefine Creative, and this is to do, to put in your like Christmas movies and that kind of stuff that you're watching, favorites, that kind of a thing. So I might just do this and tuck it in somewhere towards the back of the book, just so that you know that, okay? So that might be to come, I'm not sure. I definitely have some photos that I need to get in at some point this week. So I have photos of clients' gifts and that kind of stuff. So, hey, Deborah, good to catch you too. So we're doing December Daily Day 24 today. So actually, I don't want to put this in. I want to keep this out as we work through December Daily Day 24. So there's my book so far, you guys. Looking pretty chunky, which I'm okay with. I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, so a little bit about flying in the pandemic. You know, everybody was masked. They had to be. And if the masks, they had to wear a true mask. You couldn't wear a bandana or something like a scarf. It had to be an actual mask, or the gaiters. People could fly with gaiters. And on my book is a chunker. The other thing about flying is Southwest especially was very adamant that you weren't getting on the plane if you didn't have a mask on. And they also, I heard them actually remind a couple of people that the mask needed to be over your nose and mouth both. So they were very serious about it. I'm not sure about other airlines because I only flew Southwest. So let's get going on this. You guys didn't all come to hear about flying in a pandemic. I also, guys, so you just know I wasn't being like irresponsible, because of course it was all over the news. I had not seen my mom in a year, and my mom really needed to see her kids. You know, at some point there's a risk versus they're not okay. And actually her daughter needed a break from life as well too, which worked out really well for both of us. The other thing is that I also tested before I went, and I tested negative. So that's another big thing, that if you're flying, you can do rapid tests. You can do all sorts of things to get tested, to be a little bit more responsible if you're concerned about that. So that is another thing. My sister has flown a couple of times too, and you know, on the plane, your mask had to be up unless you were actively taking a bite of something, and they literally said that. Okay, so let's take the boarding passes and the baggage tickets and just pop those in there. I am not probably going to journal anything tonight. I'll have to go back to the stories. I need to deal with this. So I'm trying to think what I want to do here, because I think it would be better if I did the number there. And I'm thinking, oh, I just found another December 25th thing, so I'm going to keep that out too, because I could use that. Just going to see if I have like just a round circle in either the red or the green. Here's a little love heart. So as I do these, if I find stuff like this, I will keep it out, because that could go with those PJs that I have. Yeah, I'm very glad I got to see my mom too. And honestly, you guys, we both needed it, and we both cried as I left today. That was hard. That was really super hard. So I could do that red. I think that might be the only circle I have. I don't think I have any just like red or green circles, that kind of stuff. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my green. I do have this red. I could do this too for my number. That's another way to do that. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to grab my green die cuts. These are from Ellie's Studio. So we'll see if I can find any of these. Now I do have I have a green. I'm thinking I might want to do green here instead of red. I think it just looks a little bit better there. there's a green here, but I think it's a little pale. I also have this dark green too. So we could do that one if I like that a little bit better. I actually kind of like that light green there. And then I have this circle as well, just looking to see. It's kind of nice that I'm getting into some of these pieces here. Okay, so we have the light green, the dark green. Think of these two, definitely that. And then we have this piece. I think there's too much lightness there. So let's use this. I have to trim it a little bit more though, because I didn't get it trimmed very well. Yeah, I do love that wood veneer tray. If I don't get it in here, I will get it on a layout for this year for sure. So I'm just gonna glue this in. And then what I could do, I just thought about this. Maybe what I want to do here, and I don't want to create trapped space by bringing this up too far. So I'm just kind of looking to see where that is so I don't trap space. Okay, so there we go. What I can do is maybe put a little label on here to say boarding passes and ticket. Boarding passes and bag tags or something like that. Let me see, I'm thinking on the side there. I certainly have plenty of these pieces here. And now that I'm looking at this, this isn't the middle of the piece here. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Oh, Kasha, is it Kasha? I'm looking at pronunciation. That's awesome that you're catching me live. So I'm going to do a couple of these December dailies live, I think, over the next couple of days so that you guys can start seeing them every day. Here we go. Let's use this one. And then I'll have a little spot to journal here. So you guys can see them every day, but I just won't have time to probably do the uploads. Okay, great. Awesome. I'm glad you caught me early, and thank you for the compliment on the December daily. So, or videos in general. You guys have been so sweet. I haven't really had time. I've been seeing lots of really awesome things. I do respond to all of your comments. Sometimes it takes me a little bit though, honestly. So know that I've been if you are watching this and you've commented recently, you guys have been so sweet and so kind and so wonderful. Just melted my heart a lot in the last couple of days for sure. Okay, so kind of looking to see what I have number wise. I was thinking these stripes would be fun, but we do not have that stripe. So then there's this kind of burgundy alpha. I have this pink. Oh, that actually might be kind of cool. Let's see if this pink will work okay, because it would come back to this page that it's right next to. Yes, welcome to the live, Kasha, and that's Harmony, and you'll get to know her. I'm teasing you, Harmony. So, okay, so then, actually I think I'm going to like this, how this will play back to that other page. This came from my kit, so. The weather in Arizona was pretty nice. The mornings are chilly. Like there were mornings where it was in the 30s when we first got up, but by the end of the day, it was in the 70s. When I came home, it was snowing. Yes, it does kind of look like candy. Okay, so I think that's good. I think that's enough for the bags. So we have, and I'll just write, bag tags and that kind of stuff. I'll talk about, maybe I can even talk about that extra bag tag on here for my mom. So look how that kind of plays into that really well. Okay, so now we're going to turn this over. I'm not going to do anything with the back of this bag like I have in the past. I've done that with some of the bags. Now, I do have my photos back to back already. So I'm going to actually, as I'm working through these, if I have a photo behind it or know that this is what's going to happen, I'm going to just glue them right together, because that just makes sense to do that instead of waiting until the next, until I do the next day. In this case, it'll be Christmas Day. Okay. And that Harmony still has snow on her deck. You poor thing. We are getting snow tomorrow night, and it's going to be a lot and heavy and wet. So I'm not quite sure what that's going to do to my schedule this on Wednesday, nor what it's going to do to my drive home from work, actually. We're supposed to have. So if you saw these, I belong to the December Daily Inspiration group on Facebook, and somebody took a picture of their weather that on Christmas Day and said, take it. Well, what I did is, here's Green Valley where I was, and here's Watertown where I live. I just gave that away, but I'm not that hard to look up. And so, and this was at 8 in the morning. So like I said, it was 46 at 8 in the morning. But I wanted to do the contrast of where I live and what it was like there. So, okay. So, oh, yikes. Kasha just said that she lives in Calgary and they had a huge dump of snow. Okay, I'm going to take this out of here because we don't need those in here right now. Yikes. That's all I can say. I don't think I'm ready for that kind of a thing. Oh, this photo is going to be cut, the one behind, because, and I'll put paper behind it because it's not a true 4x6. So we'll just treat these, whatever, as I treat them. And this will be enough to cover that. I do want to get some red and green in here. And I do have this 'Twas the Night Before Christmas piece here. So let's see if this will work. I want to be able to tell that I'm in an airport. Maybe I'll just do it down here. I think that's good, just to get a little of something there. And then we still need red here. And maybe up here. Also, I could do some of these joyful and triumphant. Well, I definitely was joyful that I was going to see Mom. These little labels. Oh, this One More Sleep is kind of cute too. Although I did say to my mom, it was kind of weird. It did not feel like Christmas Day to me, just because I wasn't in a place that I normally celebrate Christmas. I don't love the One More Sleep idea, now that I've really looked at it. So I'm going to put that back. Just going to see if there's anything. Too Excited to Sleep, Counting Down the Days. Christmas is Here would be good. Oh, I need to use this one. It says Holiday Travels. So I'm going to pop that up here. And then that Christmas is Here. Not sure that that's going to make a thing. So, and you guys are talking about 9 degrees. Yeah, that's a single digit temp, Harmony. And that was actually at 8 o'clock in the morning, which means it was probably quite a bit colder where I lived before that. So it gets chilly here. Just thought I'd see if I could see. Oh, here, this one works. Happiness and Cheer. So I want to put it in about approximately the same place, but on the outside of this other photo here. Okay. So far so good, I think. Still, oops, other way. Still thinking I need a little bit more color up here. I do have some of these stars from and Triumphant, yes. I did go on an adventure. These are from Colorcast Designs, and I really have not used them much. So maybe I can use those to get some color in here. There's some really pretty mirrored ones. My other option, I think they're a little bit too different, so I'm just going to scrape these over here. I did bring these out because I knew I hadn't used them much. I'm going to go to my LA Studio sheet of hearts and stars and all that Christmassy goodness. Here we go. Let's do this, because then I can pull in, some red. I think we'll do some stars. And red there. Maybe this dark green up here to pull in that green. And then I could also pull it back to that other page if I want to as well too. And maybe, how about red here? And maybe we'll do another green one down here. We got two, or not. I think that's good, just like it is. Okay, so the way this page looks is that here it opens here. And I don't think I need to use those stars on here. I think there's the puffy letter, so that'll bring in the puffiness. Turns, and then we have this piece right here, and that's how that's going to work. So that will be day 24 of December Daily. So now, for those of you watching live, it's 8 o'clock, and I think I have time to do the live for the 25th of December. So I'm going to stop this live. Hang on for just a few seconds. If you haven't, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll be back just in a couple of minutes. Okay, guys? So I will be back with day number 25.